Welcome and thank you for turning in. We are glad you are joining us for today's webinar. My name is Jasleen and I work in the capacity of Senior Marketing Manager and Strategist at MageNative. Along with me today, I have my colleague and speaker Puneet.
Thank you, Jasleen. Good evening, everyone. My name is Puneet Singh, and I am working as a product designer with MageNative. So, our today's webinar topic is UI UX in mobile apps, making the little details matter.
With this webinar, we aim to help businesses like yours craft matchless experiences that stand out, go above and beyond in delivering what your customer seeks. Today, we'll be taking the floor to discuss UI UX in mobile apps, making the little details matter, in which we would like to explain you how little details can change the overall experience of the customer. We'll conduct a short QA at the end of the webinar. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type them into the chat window. We'll surely address them during the QA round. Our goal is to help you feel more confident designing your app, building experiences that are visually stunning and hit the right notes with your customers. Over to you, Puneet.
Thank you, Jasleen. So, today's table of content would be first one is statistics on bad UX UI. Second one is what is UX UI design. Third one is role of human psychology in UX UI design. Fourth one is importance of accessibility. And last one is questionnaire session where you can ask your question related to webinar. So now we are going to our first topic, which is statistics on bad UX UI. Do you know a good design can make or break your business? The secret of successful mobile application is depend on its user experience. Only adding this value in your mobile application, you can create a huge amount of revenue from your product. So in this slide, we are going to discuss about some stats about bad UX UI. So 90% users are left their mobile application or website. Do you know why? Because of bad or poor performance. We are living in the generation of 4G and 5G, where nobody wants your mobile application take more than 2 seconds to upload the data. 78% users bounce back from your website or mobile application due to bad user experience. 62% user will never use a mobile application or website if they have a negative experience from your product. Last one is lengthy checkout process. We can connect this lengthy checkout process to our recent BFCM sale, where most of the users stop their checkout process in the mid. Do you know why? Because of multiple or lengthy checkout pages.
Puneet, would you like to give some example backed up with data?
Yeah, Jasleen, I have personally feel a negative experience with some mobile app where I have purchased a shirt from e-commerce platform, but before purchasing the product, my experience is good. But after purchasing the product, my experience is not good with that particular product and brand. So they have changed my delivery date without informing me, and when I try to connect their customer support, it's very frustrating. So as a product designer, it's our responsibility. When we are creating mobile application, the customer experience should be a happy path means before purchasing the product and after purchasing the product, the experience should be same for the customer. So these are the stats of bad UX UI. Now we are moving to the our next slide, which is top consequence of bad UX UI. So our mobile application should be usable and accessible according to the user's need. Suppose if these qualities are not in a mobile application, it will create a huge loss of online revenue. It impacts and increase the card abandon process. It also impacts on acquisition cost and customer retention rate. if you provide a bad UX UI, it's also impact on your brand perception in the market, because you are not providing according to the users need what they want. And last one is a competitive disadvantages. Definitely, if your mobile application or website is not according to the users need, definitely he will shifting to the another customer and another competitors who are providing the best solution. So these are the top consequence of a bad UX UI.
So, Puneet, what solution would you be suggesting us?
Jasleen, we are just telling about the solutions in our next slide. So move on to our next slide. So our mobile applications should be simple and according to the user's need. It should be user-centric design, and from home page to the cart checkout page or the last page, the consistency should be unique, and user should not feel that he has suddenly jumped out from your mobile application to the another one. And third one is a work with users feedback. So user feedback is very important for any mobile and any application, because they are the real user who is using a mobile application, and when they provide you suggestions, definitely it will be very helpful for your business. So as a product designer, we should try to understand that problem, and if that are beneficially for your mobile application, we should add that values in our product. Fourth one is keep app updated. So our mobile application should be updated according to the market trends. Suppose there are multiple trending technologies are coming, like AR technology, VR technology, and personalization features. And for example, Christmas is coming. Everybody knows Christmas is coming, so we should try to update our mobile applications theme according to the Christmas color. We can change our hero banner. We can change our logo according to the Christmas. So only adding these values which create a great impact on the user's mind. They are feel we are connected with your mobile application. And last one is a periodic audit. So a periodic audit is like a introspection of your mobile application. So it's provide us where you are stand in the market, what are your good point, what are your bad points, and what is exactly the users need, what they want. So it's also important part for the mobile application development process. Just think.
So, Puneet, if we'll talk about periodical audits, what is the appropriate time span we can do?
Justin, it can depend on your mobile application. We can do it 3 months and 6 months according to the market trends and according to the users' demand. So this is the time which we can say that 6 to 3 months is a good time for that one.
Okay, let's
So
move ahead.
okay, so next is a what is UX design and what is UI design. Jasleen, it's over to you. Please explain the next slide.
Sure. So, user experience design is how users feel when they are interacting with any product or services, whereas UI design, on the other hand, refers to the actual interface with which user engages. Puneet?
Yeah, Jasleen, you are in the right direction. I will explain UX and UI design with also some example. So user experience refers to the overall experience of the product. Your product could be any mobile application, website, or any real products. Suppose this is my bottle, it could be your product. So your product should be four features which makes your product more useful according to the user's need. So it should be useful. Your product should be usable, equitable, enjoyable, and useful. So if your product has these four qualities, it's make a great user experience and create a huge amount of revenue from that. On the another side, UI design refers to the aesthetic part of your mobile application, which makes it more beautiful. So it contains CTA buttons, color of the your mobile application, what images you have used. So this is related to the UI part of your mobile application. So now we are moving to the next slide, where I will try to explain with some with some example. So Jaslyn, can you tell me which one is a good UI design and which one is a bad UI design according to you in the screen? Can you tell me?
So, Puneet, according to me, screen one seems more aligned, and fonts are even readable. On the other hand, fonts are not readable on screen two, and design is also seems cluttered. Images are little blur also at some place.
Yeah, Justin, you are exactly in the right direction. Just as our topic is making the little details matter, I will try to explain both screen. Exactly. First one is right. First one is a good UI design, and second one is a bad UI design. So I will describe this one by some section. So the topmost section is known as top navigation bar, where we have used logo. So you can see in the second image, their search icon is missing, which is very important factor for a mobile application e-commerce. And wishlist icon is not synchronized with another icon because it's a filled icon. And the last one, into the add to cart button, you can see that it's not synchronized with the theme of the color, and the value added, it's also not visible. So it's create a frustration in humans mind. So it's not a good user experience and UI design. Now we are moving to the second section, which is a category circle. You can see in the second image, the fonts are not equal, images are not synchronized, but in the first one, all images are synchronized and equally managed. In the second one, you can see that the more button color is also not sync with the theme of the color. So it's create a frustration in the human's mind. Now we are moving to the third section, which is known as banner slider. So you can see in the second screen, the shop now button is not readable. I think many of the users cannot read properly shop now. So it's also create a pressure when human is reading this one. So it's a bad user experience. Now we are moving to the our next section, which is known as product slider. So it's a very important factor when Shopify users creating their mobile application. So you can see that images are blurred in the second screen, and the orientation of the image is also not good. Most of the second sections are cropped. You can also notice that the product name and the product price both are so close, and there is a no spacing between them. And some we have used outline, and somewhere we have used drop shadow. So they are also not synchronized and not consistent as a design perspective. So our last section is a bottom navigation bar, where home, category, all these icons are placed. So you can also see that home icon and wishlist icon both are in a enable way. So user will confuse he is in which screen. So it's also create a frustration and difficulties when user are using mobile application. So these are the comparison between good UI and bad UI. I think most of the user understand how they have to check when they are creating any mobile application. Just
Puneet, I have one question here. So, is there any specific reason why you have put hamburger menu and logo section in the top, and why you have put the hero banner and category section in the top priority?
yeah, Jasleen, there is some set of laws when we are designing any mobile application. So this is very interesting section, and we will cover these law in our upcoming slides. So let's move on to the next slide. This is known as role of human psychology. How human is thinking when he is interacting with your products. So we design for humans to solve problem for humans, and finally to make our fellow humans lives easier. Therefore, when we are designing any mobile application, we should try to understand how a human is thinking and how a human is behaving and how he take his decision when he is using any mobile application. So we are moving to the our next slide, where we are trying to describe by by the Jacob's law. So for our first law is the Jacob's law. Users spend most of their time on other websites and application. This means that user prefer your app will work same way as other app they already use. So according to Jacob's law, there is some human minds that he wants same layout which he has used in another website. He just want same layout in a mobile application, which create easiness for making him decision. That's why you can see that most of the add to cart button are at the bottom of navigation, and you also notice that the home icon which we have used in bottom navigation bar always plays in the first place in the bottom section. You never see its place in the last section of the mobile. So it's all depends on Jacob's law. I will also try to explain the Jacob's law with some real life example. So Justin, can you tell me what is difference between the first door of the handle and the second door of the handle?
So, Puneet, I have personally faced this problem. The second door handle is off place according to the first door. If I'll compare it with the first door, so in my first experience with this car, I was unable to find the handle to get in the car.
Exactly, Jasleen. This is also breaking the human's behavior. So, according to Jacob's law, the first door is handle is at the right place, but in the second door, the handle is not at the right place. So, we should try to maintain the consistency when we are providing any services to the our customer. So, all these rules, when we designing, incorporate in our mobile application and products. So now we are moving to our next slide. I think most of the users have understand the Jacob's law. Now we are moving to our next slide. This is a Fitts law. So Fitts law depends on two factors. First one is distance, and second one is size of the target. So you can also see in the example, the add to cart button size in the right one is big, and the add to cart button in the wrong one is small. So if your target is big, according to your thumb size, suppose your thumb size should be 48 pixel. So it's create easiness to click on the point. But if the target is small, it's maybe chance that you cannot reach and click on the particular button properly. Suppose if we have put the add to cart button at the top of the mobile section, so your thumb cannot reach that position easily, so it's create frustration in human's mind, or there is a chance that he will leave your application, mobile application, websites, because it's break the human behavior. So this is the Fitts law. It's a very important when we are designing any mobile application. So now we are moving to the our next law, which is known as Hicks law. The time it takes to make a decision increase with the number and the complexity of the choice. So I will try to explain this Hicks law with some generic example. Suppose you are going in the mall for purchasing a shirt, and there is a number hundreds of shirts in the mall. It's create a doubt in your mind which one you have to pick. But if a salesman came with some selected piece of 4 to 5 shirts, it's create by providing recommendation, it's create easiness that you can pick any one shirt in the four of them. So when we are providing any solutions to the user, we should try to recommend our best product to the user. So this is known as Hicks law. So moving to the our next slide, Jasleen, can you explain the last two laws?
Sure. So, law of similarity. Human eye tends to perceive similar element in a design as a complete picture, besides as a shape, group, even if those elements are separated. So we can see the difference between two objects on our screen, like screen one is with the different shapes and colors, which seems little cluttered. On the other hand, the another screen seems more aligned when we are talking about that the everything isn't falling in place. So this makes more sense while we are designing anything. So this seems more aligned way to design any page.
Yeah, Jasleen, you are absolutely right. So now we are moving to our next law, which is CL position. Please explain it.
Serial position law basically the law which is directly connected to the psychologically to the psychological factor of the human. So if I'll talk about the there is a human tendency to remember first and the last things very easily, and it is little difficult to recite the in between things. Like if I give you example that I with a very common example, if I'll share 50 names in front of you, you might be able to remember first few or the last few, but it is really difficult as psychologically a factor of the human to remember everything. So that's why in first screen we can understand the difference, that the placement of the what I say is elements are in wrong place, and whereas if the highlighted elements like home and checkout are always in the first and the last corner. So this
Yeah,
is
yes.
what makes huge impact.
Exactly, Justin. That's why we have put the home icon at the first place and the second priority icon at the last one place. So it's make for users to create a good connection with the products. So now we are moving to our next section, which is importance of accessibility in design. So when we are creating any mobile application, we should try to our mobile application should be accessible to the everyone in the world, everyone in the world, because it could be some people are facing different type of disease, like color blindness. It could be it could be a permanent, it could be a temporary and situational. So we should try to create a mobile application which is accessible by everyone in the world. So here is some type of accessibility. These are as following: visuals, auditory, seizures, learning cognitive, and last one is environmental. For example, I will try to explain it just as our users can only connect with us at that time by typing there, so they cannot connect with by any other medium. So this is depend on environmental situation. And I will try to explain that suppose you are in a in a crowded place where you cannot pick your phone, so you can send a message to connect with the particular person. So these all conditions are depend on accessibility of a mobile. So this is our last topic, and thank you, Jasleen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Puneet, for sharing such insightful information while designing any mobile application. I hope everyone finds it very interesting. So let's move ahead with the QA round. Please, questions. Okay, so there is one question, Puneet.
Okay.
What is product development life cycle?
Okay, Jaslin. So, when we are creating any mobile application, this is a phase when all the persons, product designer, product manager, and marketing team are connected, and they have started brainstorming about the product. So, and the next section is defining the solutions. So, after in the first phase, we are discussing about the problem. Then we define some solutions according for the problem. Then if we have set of problems, then we work on the designing phase. And after designing the particular screen of the product, it goes to the our development phase, where developer design their mobile application according to the user's need. Then it goes to the testing phase, and all the process is connected when you it's all the process are connected. And then after everything is going according to the user's need, then it goes to the launch product. If and after launching the product, if there is any suggestions we can add on it, it's like a iteration process. We add that feature in our product and publish our product. So this is a product development life cycle.
I hope the concept would be clear to the person who have raised this question. So here is one another question. Do you have any comments on add to cart feedback? Meaning when someone taps add to cart, what should be displayed to acknowledge the ad was registered?
Okay, someone is adding to the add to cart. So when we are click on the add to cart button, so there is a message that in a toast your product is added into the add to cart. And the add to cart button should be convert in a add to bag. So when users click on that, it's move to the users on to the next step for creating more for providing more usability and clear message to the user.
Okay. So there is another question. If we search for top solutions and UI UX services, there are many. But as a beginner in Shopify business, what should be the top factor to consider to have better UI UX experience, and that's too cost effective?
Sorry, Justin, can you explain? Can you tell me again?
Yeah. So if we search for the top solutions and UI UX services, there are many. But as a beginner in the Shopify business, what should be the top factors to consider to have better UI UX, and that's too cost effective?
When you are choosing any solutions for according to for your Shopify business, you have to notice that you are using any mobile app builders. Their mobile application should be according to the user's need. And all the components, suppose they are providing you drag and drop features, all the components should be easy and understandable according to the user's need. So you should also check their pricing value. If their pricing value is according to your needs, and they are providing you the best solutions what you want, you have to pick them.
True, Puneet. So what is the important part of the UX design?
When according to the UX design, so there should be best user experience when you are using the mobile application. So all the sections, all the buttons should be clearly and meaningful when you are using any mobile application. So as a UX designer, we have done lots of research work, and we are trying to solve the users problem, what exactly they are facing when they are using any mobile application. So as a UX designer, we have pointed out all these points. Then after that, we are providing it and try to add this all value in our mobile application to solve the user's problem.
Okay. So what would be the best solution to choose for better UI UX in 2023?
We can say that there is a multiples of technology which are using in 2023. So we can say that there is a AR VR feature, there is a personalization feature, and mobile wallet which also play a very important role. And we can also say there is a voice search feature where you can search any product by giving some type of commands. So these are the 2023 trends and solutions which we have to add in our mobile application when we are providing to our customer.
What software is the best for designers for creating UI UX design?
Uh, so there is a multiple software in the market, but Figma is winning and at the top of all the software we are using, because it's provide designing section where you can design anything, and it's also combine the prototype section. And the last one is it's provide to engage with your stakeholders, engage with your developers very easily, only by sharing the particular files. And uh, you can create their component section, which uh, only changing some things. You can you Only changing some points, the components will provide you to use all components will help you to change the all the section in a single time. So I will recommend Figma because it's best, and you can use it in any platform. If you are a window user, and you can also use it in a MacBook.
Okay. So please check if any question left. I think we have addressed all the questions for tonight.
Okay,
Okay,
Jasleen.
so there is one question left. What is design thinking?
Okay, thinking. We can say that we can divide the design thinking in 5 points. First one is research or brainstorming session. Second one is where we define the problems. Then we go to the our design process. Then we go to our prototype, and last one is testing process. So these all sections are connected with each other, and after that we going to the launch our product. So this is known as design thinking process.
Okay, the last question left is what is an empathy map?
Okay, so empathy map is like to understand your user more closely when doing any research work. So we can say that we can divide the empathy map in four sections, like four quadrant. What users say, what users think, what users do, and what users feel when he is using your mobile application or any kind of product. So this is known as empathy map. Jasleen.
That's all, Puneet. We have addressed all the questions for tonight. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Puneet. It was
Thank
such a
you,
great
Jasleen.
session. Thank
Thank
you.
you.